Across every continent, invisible borders guard islands, vaults, and ruins where entry means death, arrest, or ecological catastrophe. Welcome to Earth's most forbidden places. North Sentinel Island rises from the Bay of Bengal, ringed by coral reefs formed over millennia of volcanic and tectonic uplift in the Andaman Chain. Dense tropical rainforest blankets its interior, sheltering species found nowhere else. The Sentinelese, believed to have lived in isolation for over 60,000 years, remain one of the last uncontacted peoples on Earth. India enforces a strict exclusion zone, banning boats, drones, and photography within 3 nautical miles to protect both the islanders and curious outsiders. Area 51 sits within the arid Great Basin Desert, on the dry bed of ancient Lake Groom, surrounded by jagged volcanic ranges shaped by millions of years of tectonic stretching. The climate is scorching and bone-dry, with sparse desert scrub and little wildlife tolerating the heat. Officially a US Air Force testing site since the Cold War, it remains legally off-limits, patrolled by armed guards and sensors. Its secrecy fueled global fascination with UFOs and experimental stealth aircraft. Ice Grand Shrine lies within a temperate evergreen forest in Mia Prefecture, shaped by centuries of careful cultivation rather than natural geological forces alone. The Isuzu River winds nearby, and towering cypress trees, some centuries old, form a cathedral-like canopy. This biodiversity-rich woodland is considered a living shrine itself. Since ancient times, only the reigning emperor's family and select Shinto priests may enter the shrine's central precinct, making it one of the world's most spiritually restricted sites. Located within Vatican City, the smallest sovereign state on Earth, the apostolic archives stretch across roughly 85 kilometers of shelving beneath Renaissance-era stone buildings. Climate-controlled vaults protect fragile parchment and manuscripts dating back over 12 centuries. Formed by human construction rather than geological process, the archive nonetheless holds priceless cultural and historical weight. Entry requires special ecclesiastical clearance, and photography is heavily restricted, making it one of the most secretive document repositories on the planet. Buried deep inside a sandstone mountain on the Arctic archipelago of Svalbard, the Global Seed Vault sits 130 meters underground, insulated by naturally freezing permafrost. Formed from ancient sedimentary rock uplifted by tectonic activity, the region endures brutal polar winters and near-endless summer daylight. Surrounding tundra supports reindeer and Arctic foxes. Built to withstand nuclear war, rising seas, and asteroid impacts, the vault holds over 1 million seed samples and remains sealed except for scheduled scientific deposits. Ilha da Queimada Grande, off the coast of Sao Paulo, formed roughly 11,000 years ago when rising sea levels separated it from the mainland, stranding a viper population that evolved rapidly in isolation. Dense Atlantic rainforest covers the terrain, hosting 1 snake per square meter in places. The tropical, humid climate suits the golden lancehead's potent venom-driven survival strategy. Brazil's Navy strictly prohibits civilian visits, permitting only authorized researchers escorted for scientific study of this uniquely lethal ecosystem. Mezhgorye lies within the southern Ural Mountains, an ancient range formed by continental collision over 250 million years ago. Surrounded by coniferous forest and granite peaks, the region experiences harsh continental winters. Beneath nearby Mount Yamantau, satellite imagery reveals massive excavation believed to house a classified military complex. Officially a closed administrative city since Soviet times, Mezhgorye remains inaccessible to foreigners, its true purpose still unconfirmed, making it one of Russia's most guarded geographic secrets. Poveglia sits in the Venetian Lagoon, a shallow basin formed by sediment deposits from rivers draining into the Adriatic Sea. Mild Mediterranean weather shapes its overgrown vegetation, which now conceals crumbling hospital ruins. During plague outbreaks, thousands of infected Venetians were quarantined and buried here, and later it became a psychiatric asylum. The Italian government bans public visits, citing decayed structures and its unsettling reputation as one of Europe's most haunted forbidden islands. Situated within Pyongyang's tightly controlled administrative district along the Taedong River basin, this restricted government complex occupies a landscape shaped by ancient river sedimentation and modern authoritarian planning. The temperate climate brings cold winters and humid summers. Unlike natural forbidden zones, this exclusion stems entirely from political secrecy. Surveillance and military checkpoints seal the area, and its operations remain undocumented publicly, making it one of the most opaque and inaccessible institutions on Earth. Chernobyl's Reactor 4 sits within the Dnieper River basin, a flat glacial plain shaped by retreating ice sheets thousands of years ago. Following the 1986 nuclear disaster, radioactive contamination transformed the surrounding forest into an eerie, thriving wildlife refuge despite invisible danger. A colossal steel confinement structure now entombs the reactor's remains. Temperatures swing from freezing winters to humid summers. Entry into the reactor core remains strictly forbidden, monitored constantly for radiation leakage and structural integrity. Lascaux cave lies within limestone hills of the Dordogne region, carved over thousands of years by underground water erosion typical of karst landscapes. Its cool, stable underground climate once preserved vivid Paleolithic paintings of horses, bulls, and deer. After discovery in 1940, visitor breath introduced carbon dioxide and fungal spores, damaging the artwork irreversibly. France sealed the original cave permanently in 1963, building a precise replica nearby so the public can still experience this ancient masterpiece safely. Surtsey emerged off Iceland's southern coast during a submarine volcanic eruption between 1963 and 1967, formed entirely from cooling basaltic lava and ash. Sitting atop the mid-Atlantic ridge, it represents one of Earth's youngest landmasses. Scientists observe how wind, birds, and ocean currents introduce seeds and organisms to barren volcanic rock. Public landing is banned to prevent human interference, making Surtsey a rare, pristine natural laboratory for studying ecological succession from absolute zero. Niihau, the westernmost inhabited Hawaiian island, formed from a shield volcano roughly 4.9 million years ago, now eroded into rolling dry grasslands and coastal cliffs. Its arid climate supports minimal vegetation compared to lusher neighboring islands. Purchased privately in 1864, the Robinson family has restricted access ever since, preserving a small native Hawaiian community that still speaks fluent Hawaiian daily. Only invited guests, family, or military personnel may set foot on this tightly guarded cultural sanctuary. Heard Island sits in the Southern Ocean, dominated by Big Ben, an active volcano formed by hotspot activity beneath the Antarctic plate. Glacier cover much of the terrain, carved by relentless subantarctic winds and freezing temperatures year-round. Few humans have ever set foot here, and access requires rare Australian government permits. Seals, penguins, and seabirds thrive undisturbed. Its extreme isolation and harsh climate keep it among the most untouched and forbidding wilderness areas on the planet. Pijaru Talagala rises above Nuwara Elaya in Sri Lanka's Central Highlands, formed from ancient Precambrian rock uplifted over millions of years. Cool, misty mountain climate supports montane cloud forest rich in endemic birds and orchids. Unlike lower tourist peaks, its summit hosts a critical telecommunications and radar installation. The Sri Lankan military restricts public hiking access, permitting only escorted vehicle visits partway up, keeping the island's tallest point paradoxically among its least accessible natural landmarks. Bir Toral lies along the Egypt-Sudan border, a barren stretch of the Nubian desert shaped by ancient erosion and shifting sand dunes with almost no rainfall. Extreme heat and scarce water make permanent habitation nearly impossible. A colonial-era border dispute left this roughly 2,060 square kilometre trapezoid unclaimed by both nations, each preferring the more valuable neighbouring Hollari B triangle instead. With no government, infrastructure, or residents, Bir Toral remains one of the only truly unowned lands on Earth. From radioactive ruins to sacred forests, these forbidden zones remind us some boundaries protect life itself. Which hidden place surprised you most?